wondered, why do you fall apart when struggles hit you? And there are others who are able to rise up to the occasion. Ever thought what really decides your ability to bounce back or stay in your struggles? Well, the answer to this is in two simple words: emotional resilience. But rarely do we really know what exactly does that mean. While we've heard about this word in the dictionary, so in this episode of Ask the Psychologist, we have Mrs. Hema Sampath with us, a clinical psychologist who has been extensively practicing in the space of psychology for past 15 years. She delivers therapeutic counseling services for adults, families, children, teenagers, and couples. Hema ma'am, thank you so much for joining us today and giving us your valuable time.
Thank you very much, Neha, Beotra, and thanks for this opportunity. And whoever is watching this, thanks to all of you by taking out your time, and hope we both will be able to give you the kind of understanding which you're looking out.
Let's get your expertise in place and understand that from the lens of psychology, what exactly is emotional resilience and why do you think it is important to build in today's modern world?
That's a wonderful question from the perspective of the psychologist, because it is resilience. Each one of us has our own resilience at the pace and at the strength. Each one of us wanted to deliver at it's very situational also. So here being, because it is emotional resilience, it is more about how are we ready to arm ourselves. It's a protection, right? So it's a defense. We have our arm to protect ourselves when someone wants to come and push us, pull us. And the first thing which comes to us as a protection is our hand. So as the acronym as ARM, I would like to put in across the emotional resilience as in this order as a capacity to adapt to stressful situations. So the adaptation is the most important thing. I said it is situational. So when it goes to the R, it is how do we recover from adversity. And when it comes to the M, after recovering, how do we maintain our mental well-being despite life's difficulties and challenges. So resilience is just not protecting, stopping, pushing aside something and all those things. It is all about adapting, recovering, and maintaining, being in that. That is what is the strength of the resilience. So emotional resilience is like an arm for us, which will protect us from these challenges and adversities and all those things. And it's just actually not avoiding the hardships. It is rather developing the ability to regulate emotions. When people are not able to handle and is not able to build this resilience, that's when people go through the difficulties and keep cribbing that, hey, I don't know what to do in life. I think I'm going through the stress and I'm going to land up into depression. These cliche depression word has become very common. Unlike the psychologists, we ourselves don't do it, use it anymore. And yet most of the people in the public, they started using being when they are upset also, they feel that they are in the depression. So people generally need to know that, do I need to keep using this upset as a replacement as to depression? So that is where the more and more the word which I'm going to stress is what is going to enable me to become more resilient. If I'm going to use that I'm in a depressive mode, I myself somewhere psychologically not ready to bounce back, push aside things and not ready to adapt to the situation. It's better to use the simpler terms called, I'm upset right now, I'm not in a mental bandwidth, just I'll address it later.
Let's check upon one thing which I think is a myth, and we definitely like to break it from your knowledge, and that is that a lot of people may end up thinking that this emotional resilience, this ability to be more present and bounce back, is something that people are born with. But can this be something that could be developed? And if yes, then can it be developed at any stage and age in life? What's your thought?
See, we all know the ancient fight back methodologies as whenever there is a challenge or a breakdown, or I think I'm stuck, things. We all have been innately born with either fight or flight mode.
True.
That is itself a kind of a resilience for us. Either face it or avoid it.
Yeah.
That is the first thing. All the species, just not human beings, all the species in this universe are blessed with.
True.
On top of it, as human beings, we also, because of our knowledge, wisdom, our academic qualifications, experience, and other skills, and friends, family, and all these acquainted, observed knowledge, we can also build a better resilience by either reading about it, discussing about it, or just understand that, as I told earlier, this is temporary. I think if I be with the flow, I'll be able to overcome this situation. Or what is next? It is not why am I, it is rather how am I.
A lot of people in today's time, women included, we hesitate to take decisions, and there is a lot of fear that get involved. There's fear of judgment, there's fear of failure, there could be some guilt or regrets of the past. How do you think understanding about our emotions will help us overcome this kind of fear during making choices?
That's the wonderful way to approach as a question and as an approach to the life itself, Neha, because we first need to understand who we are and what we are going through, without which we will definitely not know where to go and knock the door.
Right.
So understanding our emotions, which are basically our thoughts and the way how we think, is the key process through which we can overcome these fear of judgment, failures, or guilt or regrets, which we've been carrying as a baggage for a very long time. So, having said that, understanding our own emotions, we need to first acknowledge, yes, I go through an issue in my life. That's the first and foremost thing, because ignoring it is actually allowing ourselves to get consumed by these fears. So by ignoring why it is consuming us, because I'm not aware that I'm actually in the problem. And I keep saying that, why am I not able to do well? Why am I not able to be cheerful? Why am I not to be like others, and all these things. First, acknowledge that yes, I have some problem, I need to address and overcome it. So this is the first step of understanding your emotions.
Great. And ma'am, I've heard quite a bit about this, that a lot of our personality that we carry in our adulthood is actually shaped by our formative years, which is our childhood, and that is where we fetch our, not just the primitive, but some of the modern fears, if I can call that. How closely is that related, and can that be disjointed by continuously working on our emotional resilience?
Absolutely, we can overcome it by a proper guidance and a support, and also by understanding ourselves, our inner child, whether our inner child has grown, have I matured it, have a different understanding and a clarity about my current life. All these things can disconnect our older fears and failures as guilt or regrets. At the same time, what best possible, which we all can try ourselves, even before seeking the support from family and friends or by a therapist, because all of us has this inbuilt resilience to bounce back in life. First, we must try ourselves that I have an issue, and let me understand how to overcome this.
That's very well said, and I think thank you for demystifying this. We all now understand how important it is to make choices in our life with confidence, and we all agree that we all are outcomes of the decisions and choices that we make in our life. Think about it. How would you feel if your choices are driven by more confidence and clarity rather than fear and self doubt? Thanks again for explaining this so well, Hema ma'am. And in the next episode of Ask the Psychologist, we will uncover the practical tools and mindset shifts to build our emotional resilience. And hey, don't worry, Hema ma'am will be right here to answer all your questions. And in case you have more questions for her, just put them down into the comment section. And if you want any session, counseling, therapy from Hema ma'am, I'm going to leave all her details in the description as well. So click out there and definitely reach out to her. This is your friend Neha Beotra reminding you you're way stronger than you think. See you in the next episode.